Hi, this is Corinne with I'm a Dieting Diva. Today I wanted to review a few diet books and compare a few diets with you, just to kind of go over them and see which one might be right for you and what books you might want to purchase to get started. So I have right here with me the book Dr. Atkins' New Diet Revolution. Kind of done the Atkins diet on and off for a few years. Just when I feel like I need to lose weight, I do it. So I've got those, and there's a few more here. Let me go through. The South Beach diet. This was popular years ago, but still some people refer back to it, so I wanted to cover that one as well. The South Beach diet, and this one's a little newer. It's the Maker's Diet. This wasn't actually designed as a weight loss program. This was designed for people with issues with their digestive system, but so many people were going on it and losing weight that it kind of, applies to us today. But the guy who wrote this, Jordan Rubin, also wrote something called Perfect Weight. This came out not so long ago, and I did read this too. This came out in 2008, so this is probably the newest of them. So let me just briefly tell you some of the differences between these, because they're all in the same vein. They're all considered, more low carb and whatnot. So there are some differences. The Atkins diet does not really consider saturated and trans fats, although I will say in this newer book, The Diet Revolution, he does talk about not wanting to mix, low fat and the low carb, because, you're just going to end up, eating processed foods and, the bad fats. And he does consider certain fats, like trans fats, bad fats, but not butter and, your meat kind of fats, your saturated fats that come from animals. So basically there's an induction. For the first 2 weeks, you eat basically meat and vegetables. You might be able to have, I think he lets you have a few like nuts for snacks maybe, and like half of an avocado, which is actually considered a fruit, and maybe a few berries. But the main thing to remember with this one is that you're going to have to keep your carb count below 25 carbohydrates a day, which is kind of rough, but I follow this, and it's not as rough as you think, because it actually cuts down your food cravings, and I am a sugar chocolate-aholic. So I know exactly how hard it can be. And the South Beach diet came out, a while after the Atkins diet. I think some people are still following it. And I've read the book, done the diet. What they do is the induction is very similar to the Atkins in that you're keeping your carbohydrates low the first 2 weeks. But you also have to cut out your fat. So, instead of eating bacon, you would eat turkey bacon. No butter, you might eat olive oil. He doesn't consider the fats bad as long as they're not saturated fats. And, sour cream, he wants you to eat light sour cream. Not fat-free, because fat-free they add carbohydrates to and unhealthy things, just weird, additives to make it thicker and make your taste buds think it's got fat in it, but it really doesn't. So that's the gist of this. When you add in, you add in grains and fruits and stuff after your induction. So that's the difference with the first part of that. Now, with the Maker's Diet, it's going to be very similar to both of those, except for his philosophy is not that animal fats are bad, it's that anything processed is bad. So he you know, is going to let you have nuts. And I think berries are on the list too. No milk, and just more natural things, I guess. So that's that. And also the perfect weight. In this one, he does the induction, but he also took from another book, which I think we threw it away. But it was two husband and wife doctors that came up with it, and it was like if you ate so many carbs that your body would release insulin. So what they let you do, you would have, I think, 5 or less carbs, you know, and it had to be vegetables. It couldn't be breading or anything like that, no sugars. And then your last meal of the day, you could add in a carbohydrate. That was the basic sense of it. But they were doctors, so they did the research and said, you know, that reduces your cravings if you just do it once a day. Otherwise, you're just really releasing insulin all day. So he took that research and said you can have a few cheats per week, but try to stay away from trans fats, refined carbohydrates, anything like that in his book. But basically, they're all the same in that way. And if you want to follow the research that low fat is the way to go, maybe the South Beach would be for you. I found the South Beach to be really similar in what Dr. Atkins said later on in life after they've released a little bit more research, in that you can add in whole grains. And the Dr. Atkins diet, how it's supposed to work is after the induction, you increase 5 carbohydrates per week you're allowed to add. And I think at first you add it in vegetables. But you're supposed to see how many carbohydrates your body needs to sustain your weight, so that you're not gaining weight, but you're not losing weight after you've lost all the weight you really need to lose. So you might be able to have a piece of bread a day or something like that, and he suggests whole wheat. So there really isn't a whole lot of difference except for the whole debate over saturated fat. And that's the thing. They're both doctors. I think the South Beach guy was the doctor. So it's all on philosophy. But I've started doing mine. I started a diet, actually more like the Atkins diet. I'm trying to stay beneath the 25 carbohydrates a day. I don't always do it because sometimes you're just in situations where you can't. It's either that or not eat. So anyway, so I do suggest that because I think it helps with the cravings. I felt like the South Beach diet was really hard to follow. Reason being is that it takes out a lot of the fats, and that's what keeps you staying full. A lot of my hard times on diets has been feeling hungry and deprived, as well as the cravings, but that's a big thing. If you're going around feeling hungry, you know, it's kind of torture, so I don't want to do that. But I think that in the end, when you're trying to maintain your weight, I think it's probably a good method to follow, because you can have your whole grains. You can add those things back in, which is nice. But Dr. Atkins really, in the newer ones, is more along the lines of that. And plus, you know, if you're like me, turkey bacon just really doesn't take the place of real bacon. If it does for you, that's great. But they're all good things to follow. So that's the gist of the books. And you can follow my progress. I taped my first video last week. I lost 5 pounds on the Dr. Atkins diet, which was good. But I would like to gear up because I'd like to add in exercise and hopefully keep up the good work of losing the 45 pounds now that I have to lose. And so you can follow my progress at, I can't remember the name of it, but I have the link below to go to my first video, and that was taken 1 week after I started dieting. Now I'm close to 2 weeks. I'm not quite yet to do that or step on the scale and give you another report yet, but I will definitely do that. And along the lines, I do get tips, so I will definitely leave tips in my video that hopefully help you in your diet and weight loss as well. So don't forget to subscribe. It's in the top left-hand corner, and thumbs up the video in the bottom left-hand corner. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support. Bye.